Hello, everyone. Well, what a turnout. This is awesome. Thank you very much for coming to our final session of the day. As you know, we've had institutional presentations here at the Spanish Pavilion. We'll also have roundtables in the following days, but what we'll have most of all are these co-exhibitor company presentations that we have set up here at the Spanish Pavilion. Our last session of the day is a presentation by the company MedUX. You can find them in booth number 42 within the Spanish Pavilion. Presenting for us, we've got Rafael Gonzalez, CMO at MedUX. Welcome, Rafael. And he's going to talk to us about monitoring 5G landscape in Europe. Well, whenever you're ready, Rafael, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, herzlichen Glückwunsch. Welcome. First of all, thank you to the German, the Portuguese, and the Spanish delegation for joining us today. It is an honor, of course, because we can share firsthand the conclusions and the findings of our report, which is our small and humble contribution to the industry. We believe it's first of its kind, offering a pan-European comparison from a quality of experience perspective. And we also would like to thank the whole team from Red.S, that have made this possible, for their continuous efforts in making this happen, allowing us to get some extra passes last minute to allow everybody to attend today. So thanks a lot to the organization and the coordination efforts from Red.S. You know, today, and this Mobile World Congress 2024 is very special for MedUX for a couple of reasons. On the one hand, as you already know, today is the official release for the 5G quality of experience benchmark in Europe. Most of you already know the results, so there is no spoiler alert here. There is a good reason for which German delegation is here today accompanying us. But for us, this small gesture is something that we do in an independent manner, in a proactive manner, just to give back and pay it forward that much that we have been given during these last 10 years. And here it comes the second reason why this Mobile World Congress is so important and special for us. So it is our 10th anniversary. So we will be not only delivering our second benchmark report, but also celebrating that we have been holding up for 10 years as a Spanish tech company in this complex ecosystem. You know, for a tech company, it's not usually easy to move forward, to grow, but we did it. And we have also to thank the full MedUX team for their efforts, very especially to the operations and technology team that made this possible, okay? Of course, everybody was involved in one way or another, but operations, delivery, and technology is the reason why we are here today. So, if you allow me, we had 10 years of growth and 10 years of hard effort, 10 years to focus on what we believe is most important when speaking about service quality. It's the customer perspective. So, our efforts from the very beginning have been focusing on quality of experience, which is moving one step beyond than the traditional quality of service. It's been a while, nothing new. Quality of service has been there for decades. We are not inventing the wheel. But what our efforts are concentrating basically on transposing those hundreds of KPIs, of technical KPIs, into something that the majority of the citizens can understand. So we are combining everything into a synthetic indicator. This is the art. Of course, there is no single way to transpose everything into one single indicator. We are following ITU and ETSI recommendations to do our best to offer you these insights. Of course, there might be hours-long or days-long discussions about how to do it best for a particular use case or particular purpose. We believe that at least for a high-level benchmarking, as we have been doing the last 2 years, is awesome. It's a very powerful tool to at least make sure that we have an idea how we compare between countries, how we compare between cities, between operators, how they do perform, but most importantly, how the user perceives the new technologies. So what we want to do is to change how the technologies are being perceived by the industry and the stakeholders within. So MedUX basically, after these 10 years of growth, has become the internet quality of experience testing and monitoring company with a unique value proposition. I mean, what we have built is particularly unique. We are the first vendor integrating fixed and mobile measurement equipments, owning proprietary technology in the full stack of technology, from the hardware to the software, but also to the analytics being used to deliver the insights to the industry. But not only, we are the first to combine active testing robots with software agents and crowdsourcing tools, okay? This is what we have managed thanks to the efforts of our team to become in these 10 years, and we are proud of. This part is also something new. As part of our 10th anniversary, we are also launching today MedUX Impact. MedUX Impact is our way to pay forward, our way to give back to the industry what we have been gathering those 10 years long, what allowed us to grow up to the point that we are today. And one way to do it is to contribute to the sustainable development goals that we all pursue, evidently. And of course, this can be part of the way of MedUX with our testing and monitoring perspective to close the digital divide, to contribute to the global digital development. We recognize in this study, part of the MedUX Impact Program for corporate social responsibility, the importance of 5G as an enabler for the fourth revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. But not only, it's also a key pillar to achieve the digital decade objectives from the European Union. It's 5G, or in a neutral technology perspective, something equivalent to 5G and its capabilities should be there at universal level, meaning everyone and everywhere should have, by 2030, this technology available to be able to use the technology for social and economic development. You probably know that this is a very hot topic lately, so there are documents from the European Commission. There was, today in the morning, Thierry Breton was participating in the main stage to speak about the new white paper. There was also a report from Ethno Association speaking about the importance of 5G and the investments in 5G to make sure that we achieve the digitization that we are pursuing in Europe, in each single country, a member country from the European Union. And it's a hot topic in this Mobile World Congress. You have heard about AI and many other hot topics, but 5G is still and will be one of the key pillars because it is still the Mobile World Congress. So please accept this contribution to the industry as part of our corporate social responsibility. This study has been focusing on what we believe is the way of measuring the quality of service and the quality of experience, focusing on real applications, web browsing, streaming, gaming, cloud storage, social networks, etc., etc. But not only. We also need to collect information about network performance. We don't forget our roots. We collect all these KPIs to make sure that we have the proper data set to make a pan-European comparison based on the mostly used services from the citizen perspective. Basically, we covered 6 countries: Germany, France, UK, Italy, Portugal, Spain. And what we did, sorry, but this is somehow not jumping to the next slide. Let me try again. There it is. What we did is not only to focus on speed, which is very important, which is one of the key factors, we recognize that. It is one of the main benefits from the new technology, 5G, but we need to go one step behind. What we did in those 10 countries to cover the 22 operators, the 22 major operators, evaluated under the same conditions, the same KPIs, the same test suite, and trying to focus on a valuable data set that can be later on used to exploit in terms of real use cases with real field data. It might be from an optimization perspective, troubleshooting perspective, but also for competitive or technology intelligence, okay? This is basically what we are doing. We are just seeing one of the major layers, which is the competitive intelligence, the benchmarking side, which is also of value, but our focus was not only covering the benchmarking, but also enabling the data set and the tools for later on helping the operators to improve the customer experience delivered to the end user. We covered, as you know, many service categories, as we mentioned. But here we have some key facts about the scope of our measurement campaign. Our team was driving along more than 4,000 kilometers. It covered 6 countries, 10 major cities, during more than 30 days. It was between Q2 and Q3 of 2023, and we collected more than 100,000 performance samples and more than 350,000 radio samples. This covering more than 35 million inhabitants. But did you know? Probably you already know, because we already said at the very beginning who was the best quality of experience in Europe. But did you know that the highest and the fastest downlink speed was obtained in Paris? Actually, it was Orange France, who, thanks to the combination of C-band and carrier aggregation, achieved this fastest speed in Europe. But it's not only important how the fastest speed in Europe is achieved, but also how you are able to consistently provide it. And that's where Lisbon and Porto led the 10 major European cities. So it's not only important achieving the fastest experience, the fastest downlink or uplink experience. The fastest downlink speed was in Paris, the fastest uplink speed was in Porto, 1.3 gigabits, 300 megabits, respectively. But when it comes to consistency, we have to look at Lisbon, okay? In Lisbon, we have a typical behavior of median speed in the downlink of 532, very close to the average speed of 580 and 28, okay, sorry. So it shows how important it is, the statistical distribution of those measurements, the consistency when delivering the service. Speed is not everything. Speed matters, okay, of course, but there is a world behind the speed. 2 additional dimensions that are also very relevant are technology availability. That's where Porto leads the European benchmark with above 90% coverage of 5G in the city. And there is an additional dimension that we believe is key to deliver a consistent experience, and it is reliability. Reliability means how many internet sessions I was able to deliver when testing whatever the service it was. I don't care. I care when I try to access a service, I get what I wanted and what I expected. And in this sense, we have a 99.1% of reliability in Milan, which is, I would say, an excellent figure, okay? This is from a key facts perspective, but how does the end user benefit from 5G? How does it compare to our previous experience before 5G existed? Here we have some key facts. From an overall quality of experience perspective, we have up to 20% with real field measurements, okay? Basically, what we mean is, with the current state of 5G deployment, I'm just realizing this is not the last version, but I will deal with that, no worries, you didn't know about it. From real field measurements, you get from a 4G plus with carrier aggregation to 5G non-standalone, which is the main technology that has been deployed massively in Europe. Of course, in certain countries we have some advantages where standalone is to be seen also in major German cities, for example. But on average, what we get as citizens is a 20% improvement on experience. But that's not the only thing that we have to evaluate. When it comes to reliability, which I believe is a very important factor, we have a notable and significant reduction of failed sessions. On average, we have 24% less in 5G than in 4G. And when it comes to gaming or web browsing, we obtain up to 68% less failed sessions in 5G. A more reliable technology. It makes sense because it is also thought to support a bigger number of users when exploiting the scarce resource that is spectrum, okay? They do a more efficient use of the spectrum. When it comes to speeds, we have up to 3 times more in terms of maximum speeds in the downlink, up to 2 times in the uplink. But when we think of Lisbon before, we thought we observed the 528 megabits per second on average, or 538 in median. It's up to 6 times, okay? So if you just focus on what's the maximum speed, the fastest speed, it's only 3 times. But on average, the median and typical behavior is up to 6 times, okay? That's what matters. What's the median speed in the overall experience? So now it's the ranking that was expected to appear step by step from the 6th to the 1st. Here we only have 6 countries and 6 cities because they have concentrated all the experience awards. The runner-ups, Madrid, Munich, Rome, and London, we expect to see them next year in the top. But when it comes to Porto, for example, we obtain the highest availability in Europe. When it comes to Milan, we have the highest reliability, the best value for speed, and the best 5G gaming experience. When it comes to Lisbon, we have the best accessibility and coverage. When it comes to 5G downlink and uplink speed, we observe it in Lisbon. And then we enter into the first to second, third place in terms of quality experience. In the third place, we have Barcelona. In the third place, we have Paris, but they are also leading in streaming experience. In the second place, we have Barcelona, co-leading also the reliability together with Milan. And in the first place, we have Berlin, not only with the best experience across the panel, but also with the best data and OTT and streaming experience collect with Paris. Very quickly about Milan, we have observed the most consistent network experience. Only 9 out of 10,000 internet sessions failed during the test on average. And also, it's not the most reliable, but they also have the best 5G gaming experience, and also a top value for speed, which is great. Milan is not in the top 3 because they lag behind in certain categories that are also important. So it comes to be the best across the panel. And that's where Berlin is the best. That's where we have the best scoring on average in all service categories. You have the best data and OTT experience when you travel to Berlin, which is a very important category. But what it is most important, you are always in the top 3 in most of the service categories. It's about consistency, doing the things right, something that the Germans also do right. So it's about quality of experience. 5G coverage is also a great parameter for Berlin, so it is very close to the 91% that we mentioned before for Porto. It is close to the 90% availability of technology when going around the city. And it's also co-leading the streaming experience, which is one of the most important services nowadays for the average person. We like to be traveling in the metro or in the train or in the car and be able to watch some videos in YouTube whatsoever. So one of the key facts is that usually Berlin has up to 25% better time to content than the rest of major European cities. Okay, just for you to imagine how important it might be. Just as an end user, having much less internet failed sessions and improving the threshold of patience when consuming content, that makes a lot in terms of satisfaction for the end user. So Last but not least, congratulations again to Germany. And I would like to offer Wilhelm Schweiler, Vice President from Venezia, also Vice Chair from BEREC, to take the floor. And of course, if you want to say some words, this is working? Or this one? Thank you, Wilhelm. Thanks for coming, and the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much. Ladies and is it?
¿No funciona?
It is working?
No. No worries. Welcome.
But I take then this one.
Now it's working.
It's working?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, congratulations to the 10th anniversary of MedUX. So I beg you for a warm applause for our host. So having said that, thank you for recognizing the quality of experience for mobile networks in Germany in regard of 5G. This is really a great privilege for us. But this doesn't mean that just in Germany, in Berlin, things are going well. That means that all over Germany we're trying to strengthen the rollout of 5G. And that is the work of the mobile network operators. So this award is a recognition of the works of the mobile network operators in Germany. And this work is not coming to an end. We are just trying to push them via ambitious coverage obligations. So we are just at the beginning to get more improvement on mobile communication coverage quality in Germany. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be with you, and all the best for the future. And once again, thank you very much for that award. And it's really a privilege for us that you have found us. Thank you very much.
No, thanks to you for coming, Wilhelm. It's our pleasure. Congratulations again, and I fully agree with you. Achieving the 5G digital decade objectives is not something that the regulator does. You don't deploy networks. That's for granted. This is not something that we do. But you are an enabler in the industry, and it's also important, the cooperation between the stakeholders, to make sure that this technology is brought to everyone, everywhere, and with the best experience, to make sure that we achieve the societal development that we really want for European citizens. So thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Berlin. And of course, please do not hesitate to download our report. It's complimentary for all of you, and pay a visit to stand 42, where we are sitting in the back of Spain Pavilion. And let's keep it up for the next year. So we hope to see you again in 2025. Thank you.